I should probably mention for the record, for anyone watching, or who might be, like, glancing over or whatever, yeah, I signed up for a whole Final Fantasy collab thingy after this, and, like, scheduling is hard. So, yeah, I'll try to be done by roughly 9:30-ish, more or less.
Alright.
Yeah. You okay? You sound like you're kind of out of it.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I guess we should probably
Yeah,
try to
just
keep
get
the
into it, yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we've got quite a bit to talk
Yeah,
about.
this is like a bad time to start this crap because, unknown to me, these are gonna be like two of the most plotted part episodes in the series, and I'm gonna be like incentivized to like blitz through things.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just starting off, yeah, episode 25. Yeah, so welcome to the Anispective cast, where, if you want to use the MedaForce, that's your prerogative, just make sure you really need to. Make sure it's really important, you don't want to waste your ult and then be left with nothing.
I mean, more or less, yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, so
So this episode,
right, we start this one with Icky just destroying the screws, right?
Oh yeah, just absolutely annihilating them.
Like three on one. It's like, what
Yeah,
in the world?
like holy crap. Keith Turtle had a 100% win rate before this. He no longer has that win rate. Yeah,
So are you counting this as 3 wins or just 1?
I am counting this as a 1-on-3 battle.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, oh boy, there's some weird rulings in this one, but yeah. This one, I'm like, okay, it's like 1-on-3. I could probably count this as 3 wins, but, screw it. Like, 2v2 isn't like 2 separate wins. It's just one side loses, the other side doesn't.
Fair enough.
So it's like, yeah, friggin' all the screws take a loss. And oh my god, freaking Cyan Dog gets wrecked.
Poor guy.
Dude, by the end of these episodes, he's got like an 11% win rate at this point.
I can't wait for the Crosser Dog evolution to happen. It's like,
oh man, I really want him to get some wins. Holy crap.
Yeah. So yeah, the Robo gang is running around doing bull crap and like trying to trick people into giving them their medals.
Yeah.
In a scam that's just not really gonna work.
Just, doing their thing, as you do.
It's like,
right,
yeah,
crap,
we'll
I
trade
forgot
you
to post the actual, whatever, fuck it, it's fine. Don't worry about it, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they're trying to like trade in like a Robo gang like costume like package of some kind for medals, and like everyone is saying no. And it's
I'm
it's
wondering,
so stupid.
I'm wondering how it's supposed to work, because it's alright. Say someone hypothetically does have a rare medal, right? It's like, under what circumstance would you like have a super powerful medal and you're like, yeah, I'll just trade this for like, the rides to air? Would just like use any other medal,
They they're probably banking on the idea that somebody has a rare medal and doesn't know it.
Maybe this is a weird one. It's not even their big like end game. It's just like a side thing they're doing, because the actual plot is, it's like, alright, they're doing a thing and Rakusho just stops them, or rather he says like, hey, keep it down, and they stop themselves.
The bugs are sleeping.
Listen, Rakusho cares a lot about the bugs.
Yeah, I like that his way. I like that his way of getting their attention is that he pelts Sakikasu in the side of the head with a snowball.
His name is Rokusho. He speaks for the bees.
Uh, uh, so yeah, cut to Karin running from more random Robo Gang dudes, and yeah, she found this injured parrot.
Yeah, I forget, like, does this happen before or after they tell the boss about Rokusho? Because it feels like it should be after, but it feels like it's, like,
Uh,
immediate.
I don't remember. I just watched it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Whatever, it's fine.
it doesn't really matter.
It kind of matters because, listen, the real plan of the Rubber Robo Gang is to capture this parrot.
Yeah, they want this bird.
There's this bird that was clearly injured in an attack, and it's like clearly bleeding and bruised and scuffed up. And we have to take care of this parrot or it's gonna die.
Yeah, Karin's running around looking for a doctor, but it's just like, do you not know where the local vet is?
Yeah, I like that she like runs into some Rubber Robo Gang guys, and she's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you know like where I can find a doctor?" And one's like, I studied at like as an OBGYN for a bit or whatever." It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh
hey,
yeah, so he's a gynecologist.
and it's like, okay, you could help him. And she's like, why? Wait a minute, we're supposed to be like trying to take this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Icky makes a dramatic entrance with Medabots standing on a high place, which the narrator tells us to not do at home because it's dangerous. And then they just kind of run off without a confrontation.
What would their plan have been like? Because their plan relies on... Alright, so skip ahead. The plan relies on, like, them being after this bird and, like, getting it to Rokusho. So what will have happened if they just, they take the bird and Karin's like, okay, thanks, please help him. And, she just leaves and now they've just got the bird again and Rokusho doesn't even know,
Actually, yeah,
Whoa.
so spoilers for later, the parrot was planted here as a way to like upset Rokusho.
Yes.
But then there are Rubber Robo Gang members going after the parrot that they planted to take it.
This is one of the things that's this is the part of the episode that like bugs the crap out of me because alright, just skip ahead, but this is a really good episode. Like this is a really good episode. This is a robot parrot. Why is it like clearly like bleeding and like bruised and stuff?
It's a very well made robot parrot. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like everything we're shown implies it's like a real bird, and Karen's like it must have been attacked or whatever, and you see it's clearly got like red like on it where it's been hit or whatever. It's like okay, yeah, that's like blood and stuff. Yeah, this looks pretty bad. They get there, like, Rokusho's constantly like, oh, we have to go, or, like, if we don't act fast, he might not make it. He's like, I can't risk losing someone else. And it's like, it's a robot. It's not even a Medabot. Like, I think you can fix it.
Yeah, the only real indication that it's not a normal parrot really is that it's like we cut to a flashback of it and the professor and Rokusho.
Yeah.
And like they're talking and like the parrot is speaking in complete sentences and it's just like immediately I was like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah. Man, that's like a whole thing, because it's like, it feels so, like, I don't think this is even, like, bad wrong. It's like, you do what you have to. It's so weird that, they're just, like, they do the big flashback episode about the fire. I don't remember them even, like, mentioning there's a parrot there. It's so irrelevant.
Yeah,
And
there might
suddenly
have
it's
been.
like, oh yeah, Rakusho's best friend Baton, guys. Oh, it's his closest friend in the world. And it's like, yo, hey Baton, what's the weather like? And he's like, oh, my feathers say it's gonna be like, yo, big rainstorm squire or whatever. And it's like, yeah, yo, Baton, he was there all along. He was so important. Like, Rakusho runs back and he's like, no, Professor! And Baton! You know?
Yeah.
It feels very forced.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe there was a bird in the previous flashbacks, but yeah, Rokusho definitely wasn't calling out to Baton that during that whole time.
It's like weird, but you know what, honestly, it's fine. It's like, it's fine because this is like a really good sup anyways. It's like, okay, yeah, Rakusho finally finds someone else who's connected to his past, and he's like, oh yeah, this is like someone who was there, who have been like at the fire, and they know stuff, and they have this big personal connection or anything, so it's like, okay, yeah. Like, if we fix this bird, we might learn some stuff, like, who knows where this is gonna go.
Yeah. I like the robot reveal bit where, like, Baton seemingly, like, dies in front of them, and then Icky's mom picks it up and shakes it around.
She just starts shaking it.
Yeah, she just opens a compartment on its chest, and she's just like, "Oh, the battery's dead," and everyone's just like, "Wait, it's a freaking robot." Rokusho in like the only like scene where he's like kind of goofy, it like does the sweat drop thing, and he's just like, "Did I not mention it?"
God, I love it. She just like picks up, just starts shaking the fuck out of it. And like everyone's just like, you can't, no, don't, what? No. The poor bird. It's like immediately, it's like, okay, yeah, no, there's something going on. It's like, it's gonna wake up or something.
Yeah, I figured they were like, I was like, okay, they're not gonna have this parrot die on screen in this like kids robot battle
They're not
show.
gonna murder the parrot and have the mom be like, oh, shake,
Yeah. And then Icky like thinks to himself, I was like, oh, of course, it was weird how much it was talking. It was way too talkative even for a parrot. And then he looks over to Kari, and who's like, oh, I'm so glad he's not dead. And it's like, but Icky decided to keep his thoughts to himself.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Good for you, Icky. You learned some restraint.
Yep. So, yeah, jumping ahead, they can't really fix him with conventional tools. Fortunately, we have a Medabot professor with highly specialized robot tools.
I'm giving this episode so much crap, and it's like, I'm gonna be like, oh, but it's really good though, you don't understand.
It's good.
Hey, Dalbeeble, yeah. So, this bird is a robot.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he gets better. But yeah, they like get a new battery for the bird, and they're like, wait, no, but actually, like, he's still not working out. Yeah, I need to actually fix him completely. We need to like go to the Medabot professor's house.
Yeah,
this is like, yeah.
They replace the battery, and then they're just like, they determine that there is still like damage to its actual like systems or whatever.
And this is where we get the biggest revelation of the episode, because it's like, all right, we've seen like context, like there's a big fire, and it's like freaking Rakusho's owner got like freaking murdered in the fire. Seemingly, he disappeared. Like, they never found a body or anything. It's like this big tragic event. And it's like the bird was there. So it's like they're trying to fix it up. And then, like, they just straight up like hear from the bird. Rather, Rakusho just straight up hears from the bird, like, "Oh no, like you're the one. Why are you doing this? Why'd you start the fire? You're the professor's disciple. Why would you do this or whatever?"
Why would you, the professor's disciple, start this fire? Medabot professor.
Like, the robot bird bleeds. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't understand it either.
Yeah, it's strange. Also, it's not. Yeah, it's less of a Beast Wars thing and more of it's just a robotic parrot.
Yeah. Although, coincidentally, in this episode, there is a beast Medabot.
Yeah. So, Rokusho. Okay, so I want to go back for a moment because there's like a little gag that they keep doing. The Robo gang goes and like complains to the boss about the white Medabot that keeps defeating them. And then they finally give the details about Rokusho, and he's like, "Oh, that one definitely has a rare medal. You have to get that guy."
The boss finally realizes, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, this is like actually interesting now. Like, we can't go back from this. Target is now firmly on Rokusho's back. Like, they're going to be gunning for him.
Also, the boss seems to be connected to the professor in some way.
Yeah.
But the dumb gag I wanted to mention was that Sakikasu makes like a pun or something, like when the boss is trying to get information, and like it cuts to like a "please wait a moment" screen or something. Then it cuts back and Sakikasu's gone and he's been replaced with a teddy bear. And it's like,
God, how do you catch the teddy bear, man?
It's such a weird gag. They do it again later.
Oh man, our villains are such lovable goofballs this series. Holy crap.
So yeah, we cut back to the lab, or not the lab, but the Medabot professor's house.
And Bird starts saying like, "Oh, the Medabot professor, they started the fire, they did everything. Oh no, where are you going? No, don't shoot him," implying you like got him with a freaking gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut to outside where the professor and Hikaru are like chopping wood, and then the Robo gang is like screwing around in the bushes, and Hikaru runs after them.
Yeah,
and the professor's left holding a wood cutting axe.
Yeah. In one of the weirdest moves in this like episode, it's like, at first I was just holding the cutting axe, and he's like, "Wait, no, I need to ask you some questions," without realizing it, and he just stops, and he's like, "Wait a second."
So it's actually, he says something like, "I cannot accept this."
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, and I'm just like, wait a minute, that pun works or maybe it's just translated.
It might just be translation, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Hikaru goes after the Robo gang dudes who were hanging around the house while I think Rokusho makes a bunch of noise or somebody yells or something, and then the Medabot professor runs into the room with the axe. And Rokusho immediately jumps to, "Oh, you killed the professor, and now you're here to kill us."
Now you're here to
we discovered the truth.
Me with your freaking axe as a professor of robots.
Yeah, and Rokusho is just completely just blinded by rage and just starts trying to kill the professor.
He's reacted to flashback. No, this is a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
because Rokusho learns that he's like, "Oh, the Medabot professor may have killed my old master," and like he looks over, and the Medabot professor is conveniently there with a weapon, and he just gets the wrong idea. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna take me out, huh? I'm not gonna let you." And it's like, this is so contrived. Yeah, the parrot's like, he's like reliving the flashback, and he's like, like screaming out what he remembers, like he's just like malfunctioning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that probably makes more sense. It's like, yeah.
Also, Karine turns on her own uncle pretty quickly. She's just like, "Oh, you murdered him," whatever.
Yeah, everyone. Robo PTSD, pretty much, yeah. Which
Yeah,
we've learned is actually a thing in the series. Yeah,
mix.
Lady Jet takes like a big like hit of damage in a flying accident, and she gets like a fear of turning into jet mode.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that they contextualize it as like a computer program running like a self-preservation thing.
Yeah, they actually like justify it. Yeah, robots are able to they're able to have like PTSD and like feel emotions and stuff, basically.
Yeah,
They're able to
Medabots
get
are
like jealous.
Medabots are special.
Yeah, they're fairly sentient for the most part. It's like Mabi and Rokusho are more sentient than the others, but it's like, yeah, even normal Medabots are like fairly self-aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, immediately Rokusho is like, oh, you're trying to kill me with the freaking axe. Me, a Medabot, whose armor is stated to be harder than diamonds, with your axe. So yeah, like, weirdly enough, like, yeah, Rakusho starts, like, trying to attack him, and yeah, the Phantom Thief is just there, and he's just, like, firing him off of, like, a freaking, like, fireplace poker, and he's kind of holding his own for a bit.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I probably should play a Medabots game at some point. That'd actually be pretty fun. I want to know what it's like, I want to know.
That might be something to do. They at
Yeah.
least localize the first few games, I think.
Yeah, there's probably ways to get those.
The first few GBA games and also Medabots Infinity.
Yeah.
But in Rokusho's blind rage, he knocks over a table with a bunch of papers on them, and they fall near the fireplace. And guess what? The house goes up in flames.
Yeah, just for a character whose entire trauma is about like a house fire, this seems very immediately fitting.
Yeah. So Rokusho chases the professor and Phantom Thief retort to the rooftop.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to kill them. Meanwhile, Icky and Erica are out in town doing something. I can't remember what Icky was doing.
Yeah, it don't really matter.
And all of a sudden, like fire trucks and whatnot are headed over to the professor's house. As Erica's just like, "Hey, you gotta come back to the house. It's on fire. Rokusho's gone nuts."
Yeah. What's it like to have a sentient robot? Well, they're like your friend slash ally slash servant or whatever, and they just do what you ask, but also sometimes they'll backtalk or say something as like a joke or whatever.
That's more a meta-B thing.
Like, sometimes they'll say something that comes off like, like, oh, yeah, that, like, really paints me a bad light or whatever.
Yeah. Most Medabots don't actually have the attitude problem that Meta-B does.
Yeah. I'm thinking of, like, Cyan Dog being like, wow, I'm so much stronger when I have a good master. And, Spike's just aw, damn it.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll cop an attitude, but like not meaning it. Like it's a very silly show.
It's very silly. But yeah, so it's like freaking Icky and Mabi end up at the burning house, and they're like, oh yeah, what's going on, yo? And immediately they see, like, Rokusho, like, threatening to, like, murder the Medabot professor on the roof. And, the Phantom Thief is like, oh hey, don't worry, I'll, like, try and, like, get behind him and, like, take out his Mel. And the professor says, no, you can't. Not like you should. He's specifically like, oh, you can't. As in, like, you can't do that. It's not gonna work. And immediately I'm like, oh, okay. Why do you have this out? What do you mean? The stream ended. I switched back to default when the stream ends. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, alright. Give me a sec, they redeemed something. So they just, yeah, avatar selection, yeah, this is it, yeah. I think I just, like, hit this and it'll just, nah, actually I have to, like,
Gotta be a way to hide that menu.
Yeah. Oh, there is. I asked it open to actually change things. Right, actually need to zoom out a little bit for, yeah. Yeah, that should be fine.
Well, what I'm saying is I watch other VTubers and they can like change their toggles and stuff without like having a menu on screen or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I had like a quick select, I could probably do it, but it's like, yeah, that's a whole thing, Yeah.
Then again, I think they probably hide VTube Studio entirely when they like change outfits or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably. I probably have just like moved it more off screen and would have like done the thing. Wait, why what? I don't understand.
You redeemed the costume change, my dude.
Yeah. Is this what you want? This is what you clicked?
So anyways. So yeah, Rakusho is still mad. He's trying to kill the professor. And Medabee's just like, all right, I'll fight you to protect him or whatever. Mr. Referee just kind of rides a ladder up to the roof, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Referee just shows up as weird. I think that's not weirdly traditionally like Japanese guy. No, he's like a firefighter, isn't he? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, that makes more sense.
Yeah, like a firefighter.
I don't know why. I thought he was in like a robe or something, but yeah. That's like, why do you have that? Because that's fucking. I feel like he has answered the question, my man. Oh man, listen. I know what people want. I know my audience. We are all degenerates around here.
Lost my train of thought.
Yeah, but yeah, right, Mr. Referee appears. Yeah,
I don't think it was like a firefighter costume, but like I don't know. I think it might have been like maybe like an old timey like firefighter costume. I don't know.
Yeah,
because he does like he does throw off like a cape or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, basically Medabee versus Rakusho, and Rakusho is the start of the fight. Rakusho is just getting absolutely wrecked by Medabee.
Yeah.
Also, is this the only picture you got of this episode?
No, yeah, I just have, like, the others were, like, about the fan stuff, because I was, like, going through, it's like, oh, yeah, it's the Medabot professor with an axe, like, the freaking, like, fire, like, no one really seemed that important, really, and we get to this fight, and it's like, okay, now stuff is going down, now it matters.
Yeah, so Rakusho is attacking in a blind rage, and so he's not fighting good, and so he just runs at Medabee, and Medabee shoots him. And it's just
this is surprisingly one-sided. Like, holy crap, I was not expecting Medabee to win this hard.
Yeah, he's just like, what is this? I know you're better than this.
Yeah, it's probably because he's not dodging around stuff. But yeah, Rakusho just, like, runs at him straight up, like, straight on, and Medabee's bullets have enough force to, like, literally knock him backwards after a bit.
Yeah. The first hit we don't even see, I don't think. We just see Rakusho run in, and then he gets knocked back by something.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even a Glock. Medabee just has a freaking machine gun on his arm.
Yeah, one of his arms is a single shot gun, and the other is a machine gun. And then he's got missiles that comes out of the horns on his head.
Does he ever use the single shot? I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember him ever using it.
I think he used it on the ninjas.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think I remember him doing something like that, too. Like, at the very end or whatever. Yeah, he has, like, a sub-weapon, and he has the missiles.
Yeah.
The
So yeah,
freaking
basically,
horn missiles.
yeah, the horn missiles are good.
You ever wonder how that, like, cause did the missiles come from, like, the inside of the head? Like, cause otherwise they just be sitting in the thing, right? And, like, the actual missile tube? Cause I don't
I
think the connecting part's big enough to fit them, is it?
it's not. I don't think about it.
Does he just generate them using nanotechnology or what? I guess that makes sense.
I just assume that it's whatever.
Yeah.
Just like
It's
how
fine.
Medabots doesn't seem to run out of ammo.
Yeah.
Like, screw it, right?
Mabby will never run out of bullets. But yeah.
Yeah, Medabots just absolutely crushes Rokusho until Rokusho finally gets mad enough that he activates the MedaForce and one-shots Medabots.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
So,
Yeah, so we should describe how this actually works, cause yeah, Mebby's like, I don't want to fight you like this, this is like, you're filled with rage and stuff, and the whole thing. I think Rakusho has a good line here, where he says something along the lines of, like, yeah, I've, like, you can't understand the, like, feelings in my heart, something. He's like, you can't understand the hatred I feel right now. And Mebby's like, I don't want to.
yeah.
And Rakusho just gets so emotional that he starts glowing like a Super Saiyan. And he just, he just glows like crazy. He just, like, does a swiping attack. A beam flies out, and, like, Mebby's just defeated, Like, it's in that 90s way where it's like, it's kind of ambiguous what exactly happens, but it's like, it's pretty straightforward that it's like, no, Rakusho did a big attack and he just, like, wins, like, immediately in one hit.
Rokusho used Blade Beam.
Yeah. Rakusho used close combat and he took all the stat downs.
Yeah, so that's another thing we learn about the MedaForce is once you use it, it kind of like it's a limit break and it drains all of your energy, and it's just like this was the plan from the Robo gang the whole time to make Rakusho weak enough that they could just take him.
Rakusho used overheat and it was super effective.
Yeah. Also, there's a weird thing that happens where Mr. Referee concludes the battle is forfeit, despite the fact that the Robo gang brings in the Robo gang brings in a Medabot called Beastmaster, which is this freakishly powerful Medabot that was so powerful that they like removed it.
Yeah.
Like they're
also,
like, no, we can't.
Asher Caliber, what's going on? Yeah, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's going, man.
They're just like, yeah, we can't produce this thing. It's too powerful. And looking at its weapons, yeah, I can see it. I can see why.
Yeah, so, like, we introduced to freaking... Yeah, so the whole plan, okay, is that it's like the Robo gang wanted to get Rakusho the parrot to, like, get him so angry that he would use the MedaForce or something and wear himself out, and they come in with their own unique, like, Medabot, and just, they, like, get him. Because Beastmaster is a problem. Yeah, and we'll just make sure I'm caught on everything. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Also, Beastmaster's freaking cool. Like, its design is really cool, actually.
I will point out, you know how it has the freaking missile launcher?
Yeah.
Does this look familiar?
I don't know. It kind of looks like
Lucky, we've seen this part before.
Have we? Was it part of the Cerberus or whatever? What is it? The black and white ones. I think they had a missile launcher also.
Yeah, this is episode 1. Like, freaking Spike just buys this part and he has it stolen from him. And we, like, beat the guy with it. So that's
Okay.
interesting, yeah. Yeah, it looks like Machine Dramon.
That
Yeah, he's
can't
got
be.
big Machine Dramon vibes, huh?
Yeah. Thing is, that can't be the same part because they said
Yeah.
they refrained from making it and selling it.
Yeah, they
So
mentioned
it's
that this is a prototype that's beefed up or something. And what's
yeah. So
really extra confusing is I looked at the wiki, and there's apparently a thing where it's like, oh yeah, it was a machine created, like, completely by the Rubber Robo Gang, but it's also the final boss of the first game.
it's also weird considering the Medabot professor claims that they made it and was like, we can't release this to the public.
Yeah, so there's a lot of weird, confusing stuff going on to Overwatch. Sadly, not right now, not for this episode. This episode, he's kept mostly in shadows, which honestly is really dang effective. Like, it's
Yeah,
a
it makes it.
really cool touch, actually.
Yeah, mostly you just see laser. Like, okay, so this thing has a laser arm. I assume it's an arm. It has a missile launcher on its other arm, and then it can
Yeah.
fire like a gigantic energy blast out of its mouth. And
Uh,
its legs have a like a like a like a rope, like a restraining like part.
actually, yeah, skip ahead. I think there's, like, one of this that I can't show.
Yeah, I think I think we see its face as it fires the blast, and it's not all shadowed.
No, wait, this isn't the right one. This is spoilers. Ah! Rakusho fight, yeah. Okay, here's a
Yeah,
better image of, like, the full body. Yeah, because it's got 4 arms, is like a weapon on both of its main arms, 2 little, like, goofy ones, a bunch of, like, cylinders sticking out, and the lower half is just all, like, wires and tendrils that it uses to grapple things.
yeah. I didn't realize that its legs were just wires until I saw this image.
Yeah. God, I remember having, like, one of those little, like, Medabot toys of this thing, and it was rad.
Hmm.
Well, I always just assumed it was, like, some nothing, like, nerd Medabot or something, but I'm like, yeah, no, it looks kind of cool, you know? And now
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's the big final, it's so strong, guys, it's so powerful.
yeah. It turns out it's a highly dangerous Metabot that was so strong they didn't release it to the
Yeah.
public. And yeah, Metabee's out of commission. Like metal popped out. Icky had to go grab it and throw it in his watch.
Yeah, it kind of has that Ava energy to it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Metabee's damaged to the point where he can't function. They don't really relay that to us in this episode. Like, Metabee is just like, put me back in my body so I can fight. And I'm like, yeah, do that. And Icky just, for some reason, refuses to do so. And then we find out in the next episode, which jumping ahead just a little bit, like Metabee was too damaged to fight, and they had to like take him away to repair him. Like,
should we just do these two as like one upload? Because it kind of is like one continuous thing, right?
It really is. In fact, I think the first episode ends like right here with Rakusho being defeated by Beastmaster.
Yeah, they're on the roof where everything's burning and stuff. Man, I was thinking of like doing the thumbnails, like one would be Rakusho's MedaForce and the other would be like Medabee's MedaForce, but I think I'll just go with Medabee's if we're just doing this as like a 2-for-1 thing.
Take a screenshot of both and then like cut a line down the middle.
Cut
and
like a line. Oh, that's good. Yo.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do an introduction. Or are we just gonna move?
We're just gonna keep going. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is a 2-part episode basically. Rakusho's defeated. Metabee's down. Robo Gang calls in their little like airship thing it's got a tractor beam. Thing's got a freaking tractor beam. It might as well be a UFO. And they just kind of take Rakusho and leave.
Yeah, before we move on, I do want to mention one really cool thing. I think this is, like, one of the few ways the dub is, like, superior, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Do you know what the dub name for this Medabot is?
I do not.
Like, in the sub with Beastmaster, which is, alright, it's cool. The dub localization name is Robo Emperor.
Eh.
I don't care. That's rad. I like that. It's like, yeah, what's the freaking final boss mech for the Rubber Robo game called? Oh, it's the Robo Emperor.
I mean, I'd be on board with it if it was the final boss.
Yeah. So I accidentally did get spoiled. That one is called God Emperor. Also worth knowing, yeah, this show was made by people who were like working with like Gynax. Yeah, I think it was made by like just Gynax straight up, wasn't it? Yeah. It was made by people behind
people would eventually move on to work for Gynax, yeah.
Yeah, it was made by people who actually would go on to work on like Evangelion and would then like go on to Trigger and work on like Gurren Lagann and stuff. So I would not be surprised if this thing probably did inspire the Ava to some extent, you know? With like the crazy like robot mouth and stuff. Yeah, like I can see it, you know, I can see some inspiration there.
If you want more examples of this, go watch episode 14 in the original release order, not the dub order. If you look up the episodes subbed, it should be episode 14.
It is the ninja episode, and holy crap, is the most like if you've seen like Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill, it basically looks like that, you know? It is so extra and crazy and just holy crap.
There's like a big climactic fight at the end where the animation just goes super hard, and it's like the best animated episode in the series so far.
Fight so far. It's so good.
In episode 14, we're like on episode 25 or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also worth knowing that it's like, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Out of like, what, 50 something?
Yeah, 50. Yeah, we're at like the halfway point straight up. Yeah, it's also worth knowing that it's like, yeah, and the music in these episodes goes a freaking hard. Like, we've had, like, Rakusho's theme before, and it's like, you know, it's like this really, like, bass, like, you know, it's like, it's like the little, like, chord. Yeah, this just like translates that into like action music. And it's going crazy. And it's like worked in there, like they sped it up. And
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's so good.
I noticed later when there was like a more bombastic theme that was playing during a fight. But like I don't know, I just missed like the Rokusho battle theme, I guess.
Yeah, they get the Rakusho battle through in there, and it's like the Beastmaster starts fighting, and he's like doing his thing and just destroying everything. And Sakakasu is this cool final big villain one where he's like, "Oh yeah, yo, you can't even scratch his armor. You're useless compared to my Beastmaster." And it's like
Rokusho like swings his blade at it and it shatters, and he like also punches it, and his arm like cracks, and it's like, holy crap, what is this thing made of?
This thing is stupidly strong.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's like, they fight their big villain one, and the other like Conquer Leaf villains are just like, oh my god, he's actually really evil right now. This is great, and they're like super into it.
Yeah, they're just like, whoa, he's so cool.
And in the background, it's like, yeah, the Rubber Robo Gang has their own theme music, and it's just really this goofy, like, you know?
No. Apparently, I just don't notice music in this show.
Yeah, they have a really goofy little, like, theme track, and they're, like, playing it, and they're doing the same thing where it's like, you know, it's sped up, and it's hardcore, and it's just going for it. It's like, oh shit, Rubber Robo theme, but it's like serious now.
It is weird. It is weird seeing the Robo Gang like serious. It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh man. Like, I know I can't remember what their theme specifically is at the moment to like recreate or but it's like, yeah. If you're paying attention, you've like probably caught it. Like, if I heard it I'd dip at like a glance, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just don't notice music in this unless it's like really like loud and in your face. I don't know.
Yeah, man, there's some good tracks in this. Holy crap. They've been on their like A game with these episodes.
Hmm.
But yeah, so they like still Rakusho, and they're like sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna continue talking about the episode.
Yeah, they steal Rakusho, and they're immediately trying to get the Mel out, because, the Mel is, like, the actual, like, mind and soul of the Medabot stuff. It's their, like, CPU. And they're, like, trying to take it out, and they're like, wait, it won't budge. What the crap? They're, like, poking at with sticks and stuff. They're like, whatever, just take them and run. We'll deal with it later.
I think... So actually, that happens back at their base when they've already retreated.
No, they're also, like, they can't get out first, and they just take them. And they also can't get out back at the base.
And they have him, like, chained up to, like, a wooden plank or something.
Yeah,
like,
they basically have him crucified.
Not really. It's not quite the same thing.
No, okay.
Yeah, but also I think this is where the other like weird gag where like I think it's Sakikasu again gets replaced by a teddy bear.
Yeah,
they do it again. I think it's because like Salami's getting all the praise for like capturing Rakusho for some reason, and Sakikasu is like reasonably upset about this because he did this.
Yeah. So yeah, they're like, going through a whole thing. The boss is like, okay, good. Now get me that rare metal. And they're like, okay, yeah. And they like try and use the electro hairs that like, shut out the Medabots and pop the metal out. Doesn't work. Surprisingly just doesn't work on. And they're like, oh. Huh.
Wouldn't be surprised if the professor just made it so that Rokusho's thing just doesn't open.
Yeah, I think it might just be a rare Mel thing, I think it's like if your Mel is evolved and it's strong enough, then you just like it doesn't come out unless you want to.
Maybe, but like I know that Medabots refused to let his be removed, but he was conscious.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking this, because it's like, there's points where Medabots been defeated and his Mel, like, came out, but there's also points where they, like, oh yeah, they literally hit the button that's supposed to make the Mel pop out, and it just doesn't happen. And it's like, okay, I think this is just a rare Mel thing. I think they just, like, choose to do this if they're strong enough, They have to have, like, the willpower at the moment in the metal or something.
I guess.
Like, it feels like something like that, right? Like, they just force override it.
I mean, so that's my issue. Is just like, yeah, I could see that if Rokusho was conscious.
Yeah. Well, and he is conscious. It's just he's inactive. Can I say something? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
That's what the chat's for.
Yeah. Because it's like, remember, when they're knocked out, the Mel is still, like, conscious. It just can't do anything, because, it's a metal, right?
Yeah, this is the whole weird thing with the mermaid Medabot.
It's like, they'd still think they just can't really see anything because the body's shut down, so they're like, yeah. There's a Medabot, looks extremely similar to Mephistomon. Oh, yeah, I think it was that, like, Blackmail or something? I think that's the name of it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, the demon one. Yeah. The Satan goat one. Yeah, the devil. Yeah, they're like the first episode. Yeah, those guys are great. Black Ram. Yeah, I think that's the dub name. Yeah. Man, I wish they got to do more things. Those were really cool. Yeah. There's also freaking Belzelga, which is, as you would probably expect, very fly-themed. And it's also just straight up a demon.
Yep. Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, Black Ram is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're trying to get them out. They're like, wait, no, why is it not coming out? Lube it up and use pliers or something. And the boss is like, idiots! Fine, just disassemble them completely and then get it out. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. If you, like, take apart every single part of the robot, at some point you're gonna be able to, like, get that open.
Yeah. But luckily for Rokusho, Retort followed them, and it's such a goofy scene because he gets discovered like in the air vents or whatever, and like the boss apparently has like robot hands attached to the TV, and he like hears him and like knocks him out of the vent.
It's surprisingly cool. Like, it's weirdly well animated.
Yeah. So Retort like falls out of the air vent and he just like starts to try and act cool despite the fact that he just fell out. And like he like chucks a basically a shuriken at Salami's head. It's like, it hurts. And,
he basically just goes like, oh, well, there's no way I could, like, outmatch you. Look, a UFO! And everyone just turns around and he just throws down, like, a smoke bomb and, like, runs.
He throws down a smoke bomb, grabs Rokusho, and just books it.
Yeets him out of there.
And I'm just like, I can't believe that worked.
Oh man, but yeah, so they like, you go after him.
Sorry, real quick, we're glossing over a thing that happens in like the side plot or whatever. They're back at like the Medabot institution.
Oh yeah.
After Icky like freaks out and is like, tell us about the rare metals, blah blah blah, and Medabot professor does, and it's like, yeah, so I got Medabots where they are, but it wasn't my initial research. It was Dr. What's his face.
Yeah, they mentioned at some point in my research I came across a metal that possesses unfathomable power, and it's a stag beetle or like it's like a Kawaga beetle or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's probably Rokusho. And like in like the last episode, when they're probably bring Rokusho up to the boss, he mentions like, "Oh, so it's Scissorhead, huh?" or whatever. Head scissors. Yeah, that's what he calls them. Head scissors. So it's like, all right, the implication here directly is that Rokusho is like the first Medabot.
Seemingly,
just straight up, yeah.
And yeah, he's telling them about the metals and stuff. There's a little gag where Medabi has all of his parts replaced with other stuff, so he looks silly, and they laugh at him.
Yeah, I got like image of that too. But yeah, we got the exclamation.
Most importantly, they're examining Baton, who didn't get burned up in the fire. I guess they got him out before that happened. Baton had like an extra like data chip installed into him so that he would say fake information.
Like he had a fake memory chip.
Yep, the Robo gang implanted.
All but they implanted. They apparently did a really good job too. Like it's really stuck in there, and they have to really like work to get it. Like it's a whole process because they're risking like damaging them. And it's like when they finally get it out, it just straight up says Robo on it. And it's like, this group's definitely got their branding down. They definitely know what they're doing with this.
Also, they're like, oh, it's so small, it'll be super hard to remove. Cut to Rokusho holding it in his fingers, and it's not actually all that small.
Yeah, I'd believe it, because it's like, they say it's like tight in there, and it's probably in like a really awkward spot and everything, Like, it was probably a case of like, oh, well, unless we like cut it open, this is gonna be like a hard thing to get to. So they're like, doing the risk and everything to, I understand it. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Also, the person in charge of it is the lady that Sakikasu fell in love with.
Yeah.
And she's got like a locket with his. She's got like a locket with his picture in it. It's like,
man.
It's like, I don't know. I'm glad that she came back for this episode.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. But yeah, so they finally get like Medabots' body fixed up, and they learn the truth. They're like, okay, we have to like save Rakusho, you know? And they're like searching for like where he could be. And it's like the freaking chicken man shows up again, and his little chick's
Yeah.
finally like a full rooster. And he's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta know where you're going before you can know where you've been or something.
He's like, sometimes you just gotta run and you'll find your way or whatever. But then he like contradicts himself and says like, or like Icky's like, but you stopped us in the first place. And the old man's just like, well, sometimes you have to stop and think on your path before something. And then it's just like he's just contradicting himself while he's trying to sound like helpful and cryptic.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just the whole situation's really stupid.
Listen, don't count your chickens before they hatch, but also first come, first serve.
Okay. But yeah, then the chicken man is just like, we'll just run, just go. And he like points off into the distance, and then there's like an explosion, and it's like, oh, the fight's over there.
Yeah, I guess that's where it is, huh? Okay, alright, yeah, just go that way then, I guess.
Also, I could have swore, so in the dub, so in the original dialogue, he does the shtick where he tries to like give away a chick at the very beginning, and then he never does it again.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the dub made it so that every time he appeared, he tried to sell them a chick.
Okay, that's good.
If I remember correctly, but I guess they decided to not go with that for the original.
Also, yeah, Land Brachios sounds pretty neat.
Yeah.
Listen, if my knowledge of Zoids is on point, that thing was pretty cool. So Land Brachio also is probably pretty alright. But yeah, so...
So yeah, Retort's trying to run from Beastmaster, who's just blowing crap up because of course it is.
Yeah, Retort's still... Right, this is something we kind of glossed over. Yeah, after you use the MedaForce, your body is, like, really weakened. So it's like, Retort is still, like, drained. He can still barely fight.
Rakusho,
yeah, sorry.
I said Retort because he's carrying Rakusho on his back, trying to run away from the Robo gang.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's trying to escape Beastmaster, who's like shooting the lasers and the missiles and all that stuff. And they get to the fight, and Baton, the parrot, shows up, and he's like, "Okay, Rakusho." So they put like a fake memory thing in me, like it wasn't the Medabot professor who burned down the lab. It was the Robo gang.
Yeah.
That gets Rakusho,
huh? Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. That gets Rakusho proper mad.
Now I'm really curious what the timeline's like, because Sakekasu seemed to think that, like, he founded the gang, but this implies they were a thing before that.
Yeah.
So,
maybe Sakekasu just created this part of Japan's Robo gang?
Maybe he just coincidentally made a completely separate, independent Rubber Robo Gang, and he also just happened to call it the Rubber Robo Gang, and then the real Rubber Robo Gang just co-opted their forces.
What are the odds that they all wear the same uniform?
Listen, normally I'd say very low, in this series, pretty high. I could see them doing that.
My thought is that it existed and there was like a recruitment thing, and Sakekasu is like, well, since I'm the one who formed the faction here, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man. Maybe we'll get some clarification eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, Rakusho is all fired up and mad not in like blind rage, but like righteous fury kind of thing. He's like, Icky, let me borrow a part so I can fight these guys. And he gives him
Yeah.
which Medabot
The
is
freaking
this?
I forget the name, but it's like the fox one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's like, yeah, Icky of course transfers like a blade arm because yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he just uses it to just cut the missiles apart, and it's really cool. Like, there's some really cool music that plays during this scene.
Yeah, this is the part where I actually noticed the music. But yeah, unfortunately, I think Rakusho gets taken down again.
Yeah.
But that happens because Medabi goes to fight and starts also getting wrecked. And when everything looks to be at its worst, Medabi activates his MedaForce because he can do it too.
Yeah, Mebi finally gets his. It's like, we finally get Mebi's, like, full power. And listen, I regret to inform people that in the sub, Mebi does not, in fact, while doing this, say in a really cool voice, "Dude, I rock."
I'm kind of glad that's not the case because it would be so dumb.
It'd be so unfair, but I want so bad though.
I can't not think about it whenever I see the MedaForce bit. That it's just like,
Oh man.
I'm glad that's not in the original because it's such a serious moment. And like, freaking Beastmaster fires like his big blast at Medabi, and Medabi's MedaForce manifests as, that's a lot of M's. Manifests as like a big yellow
As a
beam.
miraculous melting
It fires a big yellow
magic
beam
missile.
out of his.
There we go. Mebi's MedaForce manifests. It's a miraculous melting magic missile.
Yeah, so he fires the MedaForce out of his guns, and it's just a big beam attack because, of course, it is.
Yeah, of course.
And it easily overpowers Beastmaster's laser, which was said to be so powerful that they weren't going to mass produce it, and he just blows him away.
Yeah, he just gets it. So, Mebi is the most powerful thing ever. Please ban now.
Also, seemingly Beastmaster's medal doesn't have like a symbol on it.
No, I think we just see the backside.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it pops out. I was trying to see what it was, and it just, hits the ground so fast we don't really see what the front side's like.
Bet they did that on purpose.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Well, if it was also a bug, What
yeah, who knows? But yeah, Medabi uses the MedaForce and defeats Beastmaster, and everything's all good now. Rokusho gets a new cloak. It's cool.
It's a good... Listen, this is some quality, like, anime storytelling, Like, this... Because the whole cloak was, like, just a whole symbolic thing for it's like, oh, he's always alone, and it's all, like, tattered, and, it's, like, not very well taken care of and stuff, and it's, like, rough looking, it's disorganized, and it's like he finally gets, like, human friends and makes connections, and they give him a new cloak, and it's, like, really nice and clean, and, like, like, looks great, and they're like, yeah, it's never too late for a new start with this new cloak.
Yeah. So yeah, the tattered robe thing is cool. This is also really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think I suddenly realized why. He gives me Piccolo vibes.
Yeah, holy crap.
He's got like the shoulder things and the cloak.
Yeah, that's totally it.
He looks so good.
Oh, man.
Also, he doesn't, I think from what I can see, his shoulder things aren't like just stabbing through it and like where they're like he just tore it apart.
They've like actually got a section with like an opening for it so it fits him properly.
Yeah,
and he's got the freaking bird with him now. It's so good.
Rokusho's so cool.
It's so good. Oh man, I love Rakusho. His theme music's awesome, and every time he fights, the animation goes nuts because he's really fast and dodgy.
Yeah.
Oh
Sadly,
man.
sadly, I don't think we're gonna see Rokusho for a little bit because he's
Yeah.
leaving town to go try to find the professor.
That's fine. Rakusho will show back up when he's needed.
Oh yeah, he'll show up and it'll be cool, I bet.
Oh man, this is so good. Holy crap, these episodes.
Oh, also we see Medabee's metal evolve in real time. Like they're
Yeah.
looking at it and it changes like the shape to like a new bug or whatever, and it's like, what the heck?
Right, she also mentioned how, like, their finding Rakusho is a really good line where it's something like, yo, like, you've, like, played with my heart enough, it's time for you to take your punishment or whatever. He says something like that. It's like, something like, you played with my emotions, it's time for you to suffer, or something.
Yeah, I think that's like at the point where he like crushes the like the fake memory chip in his fingers or whatever.
Oh, it's so good, yeah. Man, these were some good effing episodes, number 25 and 26.
Yeah. The next one, not so much.
Yeah. Do we have anything more to say about this?
Nah, these are good.
Yeah, good episodes are good.